All right, well, this afternoon it gets warm, it gets warmer. And of course, we're going to be seeing temperatures in the 70s right now. Some 80s also now popping into the picture by Sparta. We're looking at La Crosse on the cooler side, right at 78 degrees right now. Eau Claire holding on about 82 degrees currently. We'll get down to the business here, what's happening. We've got severe weather potential for tomorrow. It's mostly a marginal risk, so a low risk of that not really occurring. Or down to the south, you're seeing south of Prairie du Chien, you're also looking at a slight risk for severe weather. That could bring in a thunderstorm or two that could be a little bit more robust, and that would probably track over to Madison if that was going to occur. A lot of this, as I mentioned before, is over Iowa, and it's also tracking towards Illinois, and that's where this is some of this will pop up into our region. That's what's happening right now. Otherwise, thunderstorm activity is just going to be what it is. It's not really too severe. You can see all the way up to the north. All right, so what's happening? This continues to track in. We've got an area of low pressure in the upper levels, an area of low pressure, as you can see, right over Omaha down to the lower levels, and that's going to continue to just rip up some storms across the way going into Iowa and then working its way back into our region and bringing some more storm activity here. High pressure starts to track out to the east over the water, eventually into the Atlantic, and eventually you see those thunderstorms right there continuing to just drive all the way in towards Chicago as well. Most of that by the time we are clearing out our skies, that's where they're going to be getting the rough weather into the forecast because of that low. We'll have high pressure still holding on. In fact, we'll still look at temperatures in the 50s and the 60s. You can see why, because we've got that cooler air that was kind of moving back and forth from Canada as well, getting swept around those areas of low pressure. They're cooler now, but we'll be picking up the temperatures you can see here locally. Highs for today, well, we'll carry over into at least those mid 80s to those low 90s, just around 90-degree heat possible for you. La Crosse could be in that, and of course we could see 89 or so going into Eau Claire. We'll see the day holding on to mostly sunny skies to partly cloudy conditions. Once we get into tonight, we increase the clouds. Some rainfall tries to get across the river there. You can see slowly but surely it kind of stalls out. Weak rainfall comes in with light rainfall holding on, and then eventually a lot of that tracks up to the north. By the time we get into it's after sunrise tomorrow, getting in at 7 o'clock hour, 8 o'clock hour, we see these storms start to pick up and track right back over I-90 over into Eau Claire, that Chippewa Valley. That continues on. Once we go into the 11 o'clock hour, when we finish out the morning, that starts to pick up now down along I-90, and that gives La Crosse a chance to get some good-looking rainfall. Moderate showers with a tinge of red in there as well. That continues to billow on, tracks all the way out to Wausau with heavy rainfall. Getting back down to the south, you see more of that rainfall getting heavy at times, but once we get in the 4 o'clock hour, 5 o'clock hour, you're seeing most of that back away from Eau Claire. You see it by 6 o'clock, they're no longer in the rainfall. La Crosse is still holding on to some light to moderate showers, and then eventually that all tracks out of the region going northeastward, and of course we start to dry out. We have about 1.5 inches of rainfall in the forecast, getting up to 3/4 of an inch up to the north. You're going to be seeing the wind gust tracker to be pretty breezy and gusty with winds of 26 miles per hour in some cases. We'll see the same thing for Tuesday as well. We'll carry over to the next few days, taking into account with temperatures dropping a little bit cooler tomorrow and then picking up the upper 70s pretty much for most of the week. Back to you.